So,
Welcome to empty music world. Bluetooth mode. Connected.
so let's say there is a trigger. Okay, there is a trigger. Once again, I am repeating. If there is a trigger, then it should perform certain operations. Okay, it should perform certain
Operation.
operations. Okay, based on based on some triggering event. Okay, based on some triggering event. That triggering event, that triggering event can be like if you see the triggering event can be after or before certain DML operations. Okay. What are the DML operations? Data, I mean, what are the data operations? Insert, update, upsert. We'll see only this one. Okay. Upsert. So let's consider this. Okay. Whenever these things happen in the UI or in any code from anywhere, if the records, okay, if the records are having certain operations on them, whether insertion of records, updation, and upset of records, then this trigger can be triggered. Okay, this trigger can be triggered. How to make that? What we'll use? We'll use a syntax. Okay, we'll use a syntax trigger. Okay, you'll write trigger, name of the trigger on, okay, on object, which object the trigger is on. Okay, in the brackets, in the parameters, what we need to pass? Events. What are those events? What are those events? These are the events before insert, before update, before upsert, before delete, before undelete. So like this. Okay. Are you getting my point? How will write triggers and what are events? Till here it's clear, right? Once again I'm repeating. Okay. Now, now here, here we need to perform certain operations, right? We need to perform certain operations, whether taking the data from the created or updated accounts or whatever the object we use, whether it's a opportunity object, whether account object, whatever the object we take. So we need to take the certain information from the trigger. Okay. Whether is it performed on insert, it means if the trigger is triggered while performing, okay, insert operations. So we have to ask the trigger, is it insert, is delete, is update, okay. Then is it before or after trigger, okay, is before or is after. So we need certain information, right? To perform the logic inside the code, we need certain information about the triggers. Okay. And what are the newly updated or newly created accounts which are triggering this trigger, and what are the old triggers, I mean old data before updation or before insertion, is there any old data? But for insertion, there will not be no old data, but for the update operation, we will be having the old data, right? Old accounts. Suppose I am changing the accounts revenue, then before there will be one revenue and after there will be one revenue. Okay. So my voice is clear, right? Is there any disturbances?
Clear, sir.
Yeah. So old data. So this is what you will get. This is what you will get while by using these variables. Okay, these variables can be used on one another variable called trigger. So that's the reason trigger dot we use is insert, is update, is before, is after, new, old, and there are multiple again, etc. Okay, these are called what? These are called what?
Context.
Context. Trigger
Trigger
context.
variables. Okay, trigger context variables. If I say, like in short, this is the only thing you need to understand to write a trigger. This is the only thing you need to understand to write a trigger. Rest all is Apex again. Apex coding only. Okay. Rest all, whatever you do is Apex coding. You use lists, you use S objects, I mean Salesforce objects. Okay. S objects in the Salesforce objects. You use conditional statements, if and else. Okay. You use if else, you use for loop or while loop, loops basically. Okay. For loops or while loops. You use methods. Okay. Methods in the sense methods, Apex methods, or classes in another methods in another classes. Okay. Or DML operations. Okay. These all, the rest all things are what? These already you know this. These are, these all the other things are Apex. Apex related thing. Okay. These all are Apex related thing. Nothing new here. Okay. Nothing new here. Only thing you need to learn is this one. Okay. Only thing you need to learn is how to write the syntax, how to use context variables, then again, what are the events. Okay. Using the trigger context variables is very important, very important. It's how you use new, how you use old, when you will use new, when you will use old, when you'll use these things, is insert, is update. So this is very important. Okay. Then only you can say that you are good at trigger context variables. Once this is done, there is another thing that you need to learn is some rules and regulations. Okay. Some rules and regulations like uh, you can't write everything into a trigger. If suppose you can do that with the help of a flow, then use flow. On complex the calculation, on complex core like analysis required on particular object, particular records, then only you will go with the triggers. So there are certain rules. Okay. Or the best practices, we can say best practices. Okay, rules and best practices are different. Rules are the things which you need to follow for sure, and best practice in the sense, if you follow these best practices, then your triggers will work more efficiently. Okay, those all you need to consider, like not writing SQL queries or DML statements inside a for loop. Yesterday I have told you, because if a for loop runs 1,000 times, then the DML statements will run 1,000 times. Instead, for each contact you stored in a list, then at a time you used one insert, then list. So like that, you saved some hundreds of DML operations. So like that, you need to follow some best practices and rules so that your trigger will be optimized and will work efficiently. Okay. Just a minute. I'll post this into the chat. Okay. Now, this is what about the overview of the triggers, or let's say the important concepts behind the planning the triggers. Okay. Now let's see practically. Why I'm repeating these concepts in 3 days is triggers are the most important concepts of a developer in Salesforce. A developer must have the trigger concept in hand. Okay, then only you can say he is a Salesforce developer. Let me launch the playground. Okay, here is the developer console. So let's say update opportunity on account creation, or let's say create opportunity instead of update. Let's say create opportunity on account creation. Which object? Obviously, I'll go with the account object. So it's not a before insert. After the account is created. So let me write it's after insert. Okay. Now, now, now I have to use which trigger context variable? New right here. Old will not be there, obviously. Okay. Old will not be there, obviously. And accounts are, if the accounts are created, there will be a list created, right? There will be a list created, right? That list, okay. That list will contain what? Newly created accounts, right? That accounts, where you can get those accounts by using hello, where you can get the newly created accounts. How you can get the newly created accounts into the code?
By using list.
Okay, by using list. Where you'll get that list? How you'll get that list? By using
New
by
account.
using new. It's a new trigger context variable. New is a one of the trigger context variable, which will give us the list of newly created accounts. Okay. Then you have to write here this way. List of account, list of account ACCs equal to trigger dot new. So this will create a list and assign it to this one, or you can first create a list, then assign the data to the list from the trigger dot new. Trigger ACCS equals to trigger dot new. Okay. Now, what does ACCS contains now? They contain newly created accounts, right? Just try to debug this one. Not only in the UI, I can create from anonymous window as well, right? Anonymous window also I can write Apex code now. So here I will create a account, one account my ACC equals to new account my ACC dot. What is the mandatory field to be filled for the account?
Name.
Name. Check trigger. Then insert my ACC. These lines are clear, or you have any question on these lines? No, right? Yes. If you have any question, let me know. Clear, right? Yeah. Creating the account variable by using the syntax of S object. Okay. Like this only will create, right? Here we'll be creating the list. Here I am creating a single account. So for that single account, for one field, I am assigning the value. Then here this one. Okay. Execute. Okay. Sixth line. In the sixth line, I have the trigger. I have the system debug. So I created in the anonymous window, right? Okay. I created in the anonymous window. But if you see, you got the trigger here, right? Yes or no?
Sir.
Where is name field here? Name field, yeah. Name field, check trigger. Okay. Check trigger. Now, let me create two accounts. Okay. Let me create two accounts. I want to prove you that this trigger.new will give the list of newly created accounts and assign it to the ACC. Here I am assigning, right? Okay. Now, instead of creating one account, let me go here, account my ACC2 equal to new account my ACC dot name equals to check trigger 2 insert my ACC. So instead of insert my ACC, so what we can do is let us create a list of accounts. At a time, we'll insert the list. List account. LACC. List of accounts equals to new list account. List account. Okay. I created one account. Okay. I created one account. Can I say LACCs dot add my ACC? What it will do? What this first line will do? What this first line will do? It will create a
List.
it will create a list. Okay, list of accounts. Okay, list of accounts it will create. Now, what these two lines are doing? Third and fourth.
Creating new account and adding the check trigger into the name field.
Yeah. Okay. Name field account is created. Now, in the fifth line, what I am doing?
Adding it to the
Adding into the list.
Adding it into the list. Okay. Now again, I created one more account now. Okay, one more account. I should add it to the list as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Is dot add my ACC2. So,
Seventh line also. My ACC2.
yes, my ACC2. So now this line will tell to add my ACC2 to LACC list. Okay. Now LACC list will have how many accounts? Will have how many accounts?
Two.
two.
Two accounts. Okay. Now I can write like this. Insert my ACC, then again insert my ACC2. Okay. Because of this, what's happening? Because of this, what is happening?
Two DML statements are.
Actual account is created.
Yeah, two DML statement. So if I have 10 accounts that are created in my code or in the UI, if I say in the code only, how many DML statements I have to use? Insert is 10 times. If it is 100 accounts, 100 times. Instead, I added to the list now. Already these accounts are in the list of accounts. There is an option for us to insert. There is an option for us to insert the complete list at once. So, because of this, what happened? Bulkification. Okay. Bulk operation I am doing. Instead of writing DML statements again and again for the same operation, insert account. What I am doing? First, I am adding those accounts, those objects that are created in the code to the list. Then at a time, I am inserting a at a time, I am inserting a list.
All the accounts.
All the accounts which are in the list at a time, I am inserting into the database. So by this, we say we are bulkifying. Okay, bulkifying, or we can say we are optimizing the code. Okay. So at a time, this complete list will be inserted into the database. Okay, inserted into the database. Okay, clear? Is it
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Now, let's go back to our code now. So in the anonymous window, I am creating how many accounts now? Two accounts. This trigger dot new should give how many accounts now to the trigger?
Two accounts.
Two
Accounts it should give, right? Two accounts it should return whenever the accounts are created, whether it's in the UI, whether it's in the code, whether it's in somewhere else. But if the accounts are getting created, then this trigger should trigger after the insertion operation. After the triggers are after the records are getting into the database, this trigger should trigger and should run this logic. In this logic, this is the main thing because this is a context variable. This context variable should give the list of accounts that are created at anywhere. Here in our case, it's an anonymous window. Let me run it. Debug. Now, is it a list or not? It's a list, right? List. Okay. You can see here. It's a list. It's a list. Okay. List of first account object. One account, first account object. Then again, there will be second account object. I think it's a very huge, right? This will not print. Let me do one thing. Print one after the other. If I print like that, you will get the answer clearly. So I'll write a for loop now. For account objects, let's say this each account, then where is our data? In the ACC. So system dot debug ACC not. If I print ACCs, it won't work. Each account. Each account means each element na? From this list, I want each element, each account, which is of type, data type, I need to tell, right? This each account variables data type is account. Are you getting the syntax of this for loop?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
From this list of accounts, pick one account each time, which is of type
Account.
account. Okay. If it is a string of list of strings, then I should write here string. If it is a list of some student object, I should write here student. Okay. This is
Each
sorry.
element is storing in each account
This is each account is a temporary variable where it pick one element from the
and,
list.
and storing
Okay.
in each account.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Now this each account means one element from the list that I am printing. Okay. So I am commenting this one. Control E. Let me create check trigger 3, check trigger 4. Just I'm changing the names. Execute. So 2 records will be created for sure. Okay. 2 records will be created. You can check it here as well. Just check that one here. Where I created the 2 accounts in the anonymous window, I have written a code, DML statements to create 2 accounts. So that 2 accounts created should trigger a trigger. Okay. These are the 2 accounts. Okay. Now these 2 accounts triggered the trigger. If the trigger is triggered, then it should print those 2 records, right? Debug only. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Second, control F. Name. Yeah. You can see it, right? Check trigger 3 and check trigger 4. These are the 2 records that are created. How you are getting this data? In the 8th line of our Apex code, where it in each ACC. Where you are getting each ACC? From which context variable? Trigger.new. Okay. I hope this is clear till now. Okay. No questions, right? No doubts?
No.
Okay. So now let us write the logic. What is our requirement? Create opportunity on account creation. So every time you create any particular object, it's a best practice. It's a best practice to go to the object manager and open that object, or go to the UI and open that object and try to create that object. Don't create, just try to create. Then you'll get a mandatory fields. Okay. For account creation, mandatory field is name. For the opportunity creation, name. For the contact, it's first name and last name. For the opportunity creation, there are two mandatory fields. What are those?
Name and
Name,
close date.
name and
Stage.
yeah, name, close date, even stage. Okay. Three things I need to fill for sure. Okay? Three things I need to fill for sure. Okay. Now let's go to the object manager. In the opportunity, yes. Opportunity. Go to the fields and relationship. In the fields and relationship, see name field. Where is name field? Here. You can't use this one, right? You have to use the API name or the field name, not field label. So name should be there. Stage. Closure date is this one. Okay. Then what about stage? Yeah, stage is stage name. Okay. It's a pick list. Pick list means what? You can't give any other value. You have to give which value? Whatever these are there, right? From this one value you can give. Okay. Now go to the code. Inside this for loop, you say for that each account that are created somewhere. It's in the other code, other Apex class, or in the UI. I want to create one opportunity. So opportunity space OPP equal to new opportunity. Okay. Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
But I need field set. I need to assign the fields. I just say that opportunity dot name is the whatever the account that are created in the front end or in other code, that account's name. Whoever triggering this event, that account's name I want in the opportunity. Then opportunity dot close date equals to date dot today. Okay, just we will say today only. Okay, will it accept or not? Let's see. Okay, opportunity dot what is other field name? Stage name.
Stage
This
name.
right. So stage name. Let us give need analysis. Okay, who by trigger if an account is if the opportunity is getting triggered, I want to make sure that that opportunity stage name is in need analysis. Okay. Insert op. Now, can I write like this? Insert op, or should I write somewhere else or like something else? Come on, answer me. This is what? It's a for loop, right?
For.
If I write DML statement inside the for loop, what error I will get? Or what the bug I can say? I can say. I told you very clearly.
Only one will be.
If there are 500 opportunities getting created, then for that 500 opportunities, I need this for loop will run 500 times, right? So
Yes.
you have bulkification option. What is bulkification option? Instead of writing insert one opportunity into the database, first put them into the list. Okay? First put them into the list. List you have to create outside the for loop. List of outside the for loop, we have to create a list of which object I want to insert now?
Opportunity.
List of opportunity OPPS del OPPS equal to new list of opportunity. Okay. Then instead of inserting in the for loop, instead of writing DML statement inside the for loop, I will add the each opportunity into the list first. I'll add the each opportunity into the list first. Then outside the for loop, but inside a trigger. If you write here, now you will get error. Okay. So outside the for loop, I will insert not each account, the complete list. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. So by this, what happened? There are two accounts that are created in the code. For those two accounts, what happened? It will run. The trigger.new will create those list of will give this list of accounts. And in that, for each account, for this account, this for loop runs one time and creates a opportunity and add that opportunity to the list. Okay. Then again, second time the for loop runs again. Okay. Then it will pick the another account. Okay. For this another account, the opportunity will be created and it is again added to the list. Okay. It is again added to the list. So the opportunity is created two times because how many accounts are getting created in the code?
Two.
Two accounts. If I say if I create three accounts, then three times the for loop runs. Three opportunities will be created. It depends on me, right? Now this one, how many times this list will, this for loop will run, that many times the opportunities are also getting created. First time the opportunity is here in the L loop, the first opportunity is created for one account. Again, the second opportunity will be created. So at a time, I am inserting this one into the database. Okay. At a time, I am inserting this into the database. Clear? Any questions? Never write a DML statement inside the for loop because we can't say the for loop will run only once or twice. It will run multiple times. Okay. Each time it runs, DML operations will be executed that many times. Why I'm stretching this much is, let me show you one thing. Governor limits in Salesforce. DML government limits, their government limits in Salesforce. How many?
150.
150. If there are 500 accounts, how much big issue it will happen? Your code will not run. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk about the governor limits. We'll practice on the governor limits one day completely. this total number of SOQL records that were retrieved by SOQL queries. You can only get 5,000 queries. Total number of SOSL queries 2,200. So there are multiple. Okay, but in our case, if I talk about the SOQL queries issued in Salesforce, 1 second. Yeah, per transaction, it should be 150. Okay. One second. Okay. So this thing you need to consider while doing any DML operation in the code. Okay. So this by using bulk option, we will have the governor limits in control. If you exclude the governor limits, the code will not run. Okay. That's why I'm stretching this much not to use in the for loop. 500 accounts, 500 times the DML statement will run. That's not the use case. I mean, that's not the governor limits, right? Clear the concept. That's why
Yes.
I'm creating list outside the for loop and adding the elements in which are inside the for loop to that list and inserting the list at the end. Now Control S, the opportunity should be created for the accounts. Let me open this one. Let me create one more. So how many accounts we are creating now? 3 accounts, right? Triggers for opportunity. Check trigger for opportunity. Check trigger for opportunity. It's 1, 2, 3. So I need to change it here. 3. Is it clear? Any questions?
No, sir.
Good, good. So this code will create 3 accounts. So for each account, this trigger will run for all the accounts. Okay. For all the accounts, the trigger will run. The trigger will give the list of the accounts that are created to the ACC variable. That ACC variable I am running in a for loop to fetch each account from that ACC and create one opportunity. That opportunity I can't add into the database directly in the for loop. So I created a list here outside the for loop and added the each time the opportunity created, each time the for loop run, one opportunity create and get added to the list. Then at the end of the code outside the for loop, all the opportunities that are added to this list by this for loop that I'm inserting into the database. Okay, let me check this. How many accounts now? How many accounts?
3.
3
3 accounts. Now let's go to the UI and see whether the opportunities are created for these accounts. Okay. Let me cancel this. Let me reload the page. Clear? With the same name, na? I told with the same name. Closing date should be today. And the stage should be
Needs analysis.
clear. If you open the opportunity 2, which got created by the trigger, that opportunity should point to which account? Check trigger opportunity 2 only, right? But is it pointing it? Is it pointing?
No.
No, sir.
No. Because I told to create the opportunity, but I didn't say in the code to link that opportunity to this account. I have to write here one more step. Op dot account ID equal to each account which I am getting in the list dot ID.
Name.
If I tell like this, if I run it again now, Control S, Control E, then 4, 5, 6.
You have typed 4, sir.
Off. 5, 6. Execute. Now let's see, okay? That time what happened? The trigger worked. It created opportunities. But our requirement is what? Link that each opportunity to that particular account, right? Not only
Yes.
create the opportunity. Now here see before linking it to the account in the code, the account name was empty. But now all opportunities. So it should be 4, 5, 6. So let me open the 5th one. See, you can see here account. Both the names are same, but okay.
Yes.
So this is the opportunity that is linked to the account. Okay, that is linked to this account. Clear the concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I think I shared this one.
Yes, sir.
So, create opportunity for each account. Okay, same example. Okay, opportunities to create. This is what list op list. I should not write DML statement now. So inserting the opportunities to create. See here, I am checking whether the list is empty. If the list is empty, if I write DML statement now, it will throw me the error, right? Yes or no? So just I'm checking. You will understand. No problem. Update account type based on the annual revenue. Okay. Before updating, I'm checking the annual revenue. Then prevent deletion of accounts. Before delete, checking. Okay. Before delete, I'm checking whether the opportunities is empty. Something operation I'm doing. Then I'm throwing the error. Try this one. Try this one. Update contact mailing address. This one we have seen in the starting example. Assign default owner to newly created. Before insert, the account owner should be the someone else, not the one who created, but someone else. Suppose I have Jitendra, Bhargav, everyone in my account. Even if I create, I want Jitendra should be the owner of the account. Whatever the account that are getting created in that org, Jitendra should be the owner. Then I will give his ID here. So default owner ID you will get here. Okay. uncertain scenario. If the account industry is the full technology. So please do practice this one. Not only this one, I have like yeah, what are apex triggers? So we have what are context variables, okay, best practices, inside avoid SOQL and DML statements inside the for loops or inside the loops. So this one we'll see later. What is trigger handler? How to handle bulk operation. Create a list, then add that. Okay. What are errors? So just go through them. And official documentation is the trial head. Official documentation, official practice material, practice exercises. I already told you yesterday. Again, I'm repeating. Practice this and complete this for sure. Okay, complete this for sure. This one should be completed and as well as this one. See, bulk SOQL, how we can perform bulk DML, how we can perform, create a list, then add the list. Okay. See, it's inside the for loop. This is not the recommended approach. So I added to the list, then I updated in the at the last, like insert here update. Okay. Learn these things, practice. Okay. Triggers are the most important thing. Okay. Any questions? Any questions?
No, Kalyam.
Okay. Please do practice. If you have any concerns, ping in the chat or ping to me directly. This is the most important topic. If you're fresher or experiencer, the interviewer definitely will ask this question for sure. Triggers. Even in the resume, you have to compulsorily, mandatorily, you must keep the triggers.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Have a nice day. Bye. I'll
Yeah,
upload
thanks.
that itself.
Yeah.
Okay.